So Mack Brown has still got that fire. He has still got that itch. He's still got the juice. I don't like his football team very much this year anyway, particularly and especially at the quarterback position. This is a North Carolina program that has done a really, really good job. Reminds me a bit of UCLA coach Chip Kelly teams. He's not the head coach at UCLA anymore, if you didn't know. Deshaun Foster's there, and Sean Foster had a press conference last week. I'll just kind of leave it at that. But the teams start really hot, and then they fade. And the last two quarterbacks that Mack Brown has had where they start really hot and then they fade down the stretch have been Drake Maye, future franchise quarterback of the New England Patriots, and Sam Howell, who started for a little while in the NFL and is now a backup quarterback for my Seattle Seahawks. And Mack Brown, the recruiting has not been trending in the best of ways over the last couple of years. It's not a disaster. It's not great. It's going in the wrong direction. They're going to have Max Johnson, a quarterback this year. Yeah, I'm not the highest on Max Johnson's abilities, especially compared to Drake Maye. Well, I got news for you. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong. Mack Brown is 72 years old. I give him credit for not just still being in the coaching profession and winning football games. I mean, it's not as if Mack Brown is running a disastrous program over there. North Carolina, to me, just feels stuck in neutral. If you've got that sort of quarterback and you'd been there for as long, if it was your second year, that's one thing. But Mack Brown has been at North Carolina for enough time to where every year should have high expectations. And whether or not he gets put on the hot seat after this season will depend on two things: how it goes, obviously, and number two, what the administration's commitment to building a championship level football program is. There is no reason, with the level of financial and fan support and location as well, North Carolina can't be a team that ascends to the top of the ACC, especially in a couple of years once Florida State and Clemson, in all likelihood, get out of the conference. They can be there. But you got to make the coaching hires that showcase recruits that you're all in. And you have to make the sort of coaching hires that can run a program at the highest level. I haven't seen the evidence that Mack Brown can bring North Carolina up into they're not going to bottom out as long as he's there, but he's certainly not taking them to a championship level. I don't see that. There is no evidence here. So Mack Brown is firing at the hip anyway. And I got to give him props for still, going out there. And every now and then I am okay. There are lines that coaches shouldn't cross and you got to take the high ground and you just have to accept it. But every now and then coaches can say they don't hear the noise. They hear it. Maybe Mack Brown has listened to or seen this very program before. I don't know. That's possible. I can see the number of people that listen to or watch my show. I can't see who those people are unless you, of course, comment on one of my videos or shoot me a note on Twitter. But if Mack Brown truly didn't hear all the noise, would he say the following quote, as he did this past week at ACC Media Days? Quote, "Every coach recruiting against us says I'm going to quit, and 6 of them have been fired that said that already. So they ought to be worried about themselves." Let me applaud Mack Brown, because as far as coaching quotes go in the offseason, that is an A+, maybe an A. Why don't we save A+ for Lane Kiffin just body bagging Paul Feinbaum on national television? That might be where we keep the A+. But that is a really, really great A comment right there from a head coach. Is he overcompensating? Is he overprojecting that he's not going anywhere, that he isn't going to leave? I don't know. I don't know. Here's what I do know about Mack Brown. I am fading his football team this year. They open in week 1. Week 1. Do you know who they play? They play Minnesota week 1. Oh, that game's in Minneapolis, by the way. Minnesota is a slight favorite. Now, I saw PJ Fleck live for the first time last week at Big Ten Media Days in Indianapolis, and he is an energetic guy. Let's make that the understatement of the year as far as press conference reactions go. He was He's getting fired up. He was not lacking in juice, let's just say. But after the Minnesota game, North Carolina will have 3 games that they should win. Just watch out. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm recording the show July 28th, 2024. It's airing July 29th. Watch out for that September 21st game in Chapel Hill, James Madison, North Carolina. Once prediction season rolls around on the show, and it's right around the corner, in less than a month, there will be a Power 5 college football game that is played, a conference game, as a matter of fact, between Florida State and Georgia Tech. And is it the last time they ever play as conference opponents? As John Mulaney once said in a famous bit, who's to say? So just watch for that James Madison game on September 21st. But Charlotte, North Carolina Central, James Madison, yeah, you should win all those games. Then you go at Duke, host Pittsburgh, host Georgia Tech, at Virginia, at Florida State, host Wake Forest, at Boston College, host NC State. Look, it's not a brutal schedule. I think North Carolina is going to lose a couple games that they don't. I just don't like the trajectory of the program. I don't like the quarterback position. And Mack Brown can say whatever he likes in a press conference. It doesn't make me suddenly believe. It makes me smile. It doesn't make me suddenly believe he's capable of being something that he's not. Now, they've struggled on the back half of seasons over the last couple of years, and they have a relatively weaker final 6 games. Georgia Tech at home, at Virginia, at Florida State. That's their toughest game. They'll lose that one. Okay, whatever. Wake Forest at home. They're not expected to be great this year. Maybe they surprise somebody. At Boston College, first-year head coach. Then host NC State. I am taking the Wolfpack in that game every day of the week and twice on Sunday. I think you're going to see betting lines on North Carolina move throughout the course of the year compared to where they are right now. Because I think Minnesota, week 1 in Minneapolis, that game is on Thursday, August 29th. That's literally 1 month away. The line on that game, according to our friends at FanDuel, Minnesota -2.5. Yeah. Look, this is not some personal vendetta I have against North Carolina. There are just teams, off seasons, moves, coaches who I just don't have a lot of faith in. If we come up with a best bet segment here on the show, which we may very well do, I had decent, average, okay, moderate success a year ago picking games in a conference that I was talking about earlier on the show and now only has 2 teams in it. That would be one of my best bets for week 1. Minnesota -2.5 at home against North Carolina. I think that is a hammer. Hammer the Gophers, who also, by the way, have some of the most underrated uniforms in all of college football. I don't like, PJ Fleck's got a little bit of pressure on him going into this year. I love Minnesota in that spot. At home, week 1, everybody's 0-0. Crowd's going to come out with their hair on fire, and the players and the teams and the coaches and the fans all are going to have the belief that it can be a great season, and it can be special because you haven't seen anything else yet, and that's what we live for in college football. So, yeah, I like Minnesota in that particular spot. So I respect Mack Brown taking a little bit of a shot. He's earned that. He's still there. Other coaches are not. I don't know how much longer he's going to be the head coach at North Carolina. Won't be surprised if this season goes 6-6, 7-5, if they make a change. I would. If he doesn't, deliver an 8-9 win season this year, if it doesn't look great, I'd consider it.